200 special trains to begin operations from today to different parts of the country. Strict social distancing to be maintained in the trains, with passengers asked to reach stations 90 minutes in advance. The number of active cases nears 90,000 mark, while total cases in India rise to more than 1.82 lakh. Recovery rate also improves to 47.75%. Globally, 6.1 million people affected. Met Department says monsoon set to hit Kerala today. Cyclone Nisarg builds up in Arabian Sea, likely to hit Maharashtra Gujarat coast on Wednesday. First US manned space mission in 9 years on board SpaceX rocket docked successfully with a space station. The mission marks a historic shift, with NASA using private sector vehicles for space missions. Good morning, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. Our top story first. Unlock 1 has begun with progressive easing of restrictions. Unlock 1 will play out in 3 phases. It focuses on reopening of the economy. All the prohibited activities will be allowed outside the containment zones. However, strict enforcement of lockdown in containment zones will continue. Places of worship, hotels, restaurants and shopping malls can reopen from 8th of June. The Federal Health Ministry will issue standard operating procedures for these activities in consultation with all the stakeholders for ensuring social distancing and containing the spread of COVID-19. In phase 2, schools and colleges would be reopened after consultation with states and union territories. State governments and union territories are being advised to consult parents and other stakeholders. Based on their feedback, a decision would be taken whether to reopen schools in July. Now, according to the Home Ministry, lockdown would continue to be implemented strictly in the containment zones. These will be demarcated by the state and union territory governments after taking into consideration the guidelines issued by the Health Ministry. Within the containment zones, strict perimeter control will be maintained and only essential activities will be allowed. Night curfew will continue to remain in force, but the revised timings will be from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. across the country. Shishir is joining us to get us more on Unlock. Shishir, when we talk of the Unlock 1 guidelines which were issued yesterday, and today we see that Unlock 1 will be into force. You're there in the financial capital of the country. Let us know more because now the guidelines have been issued and all the concentration will be on effective implementation.
Well, absolutely. The lockdown 1 has been termed it by the central government. The state government yesterday came out with advisory and have named it as the mission begin again. And as per the mission begin again, the lockdown will be lifted in a phase-wise manner. 3 phases have been given by the state government. The first starting from the 3rd June, where some of the activities have already been permitted in the state, which includes, the painter, the plumber, and the electrician. They can work during this time. Also, at the same time, the government has said that people can come out for the jogging and open spaces in spite of the gym and the closed areas. So obviously, the government is quite clear in that sense that there should not be any crowd at any other places, but open spaces people can come out. So these are the relaxations the government started giving to the people. That is from the 3rd of June. Not immediately for the 1st June, because from the 1st June, as the central government have said that they have already given the guidelines, but it depends on the state, that how state government is come out with their own SOPs and their own guidelines. And as per that, the Maharashtra government have started the activities, or going to start the activities from 3rd of June here. Well, later on the 5th June, the state government have also given some relaxation to the shops to open, and these are standalone shops and not the malls. And that's the reason, be it in market, the P1 and P2 formula will be applied to operate these the shops here, be it the grocery shops or clothes shops or even the shops that government has said that we have given relaxation to the shops from 5th of June. And the last phase is 8th June. 8th June, the government has said that the government offices and the private offices can work with the strength of 10% only. And the rest of the workforce can work from home. That's what the state government has said, in order to avoid a crowd at the offices also and during public mode of transport. So these are the precautions that state government have said, which earlier said that they will lift the ban or lift the restrictions gradually in a phase-wise manner. And this is what the government is doing at this point in time. Three different phases have been government has stated. As far as the traffic movement is concerned, especially the train and the metro rail, at this point in time, both the metro and the railway, the local railway, the transportation has been restricted by the government till further notice here. But those who want to go for the longer routes, for example, the mail trains, which have been already started in Maharashtra, and the first train was flagged off yesterday night. That is probably today morning, actually, from Mumbai's PSC station to the Varanasi terminals. The first train actually went off yesterday with a few passengers here. Well, they have been given all the instructions which have to follow, which has been stipulated by the Maharashtra government, and the SOP has also been issued, be it social distancing, covering the face, or at the same time, when the people enter into the station, they have been go through thermal masking also. So these are the precautions that state government is taking, especially for the long route train passengers here, which already been started here. But as far as the railway is concerned, especially the local trains are concerned, metros are concerned, still those services have not started. As far as the inter-district traffic is concerned, that means between within the state in different districts, that's also not been permitted. But there has been permitted with certain kind of SOPs that state government has issued earlier. Those who have some emergency, they can travel inter-district also. But as far as the intra-state is concerned, interstate, for example, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, the adjoining state in Maharashtra, the movement and vehicular movement, the government has stopped it. They have, there's some restrictions on it. Obviously, people can travel to other states, but with certain reasons, and the state government have already given the guidelines to follow. So these SOPs that people have to follow if they were traveling to other states also, and even if they want to travel via road also when the train services are started. So these are the SOPs given by the government. Rest, as I've told you, that till 8th of June, the state government is thinking to lift this ban gradually. But as far as the educational institutions are concerned, the state government has said that they are in consultation with the experts here and also with the parents, that's how they can start with the educational activities. Schools, especially in the rural areas, can be open with the social distancing, because most of the rural areas don't have access of internet and online education. And that's the reason in those areas the school can be open, but in especially urban areas, the social distancing, it's quite difficult to follow social distancing, and that's the reason when they have the options of online education, the state governments have urged the school from the urban area to follow the online education pattern, so that people, especially the students' education, doesn't hamper here. As far as some of the exams are conducted, especially the last year exams, still not conducted in the state. The state government said that they will aggregate the marks and then it will be given to the students here. And those students who are not satisfied with this, they can appear for the exams in October when all the normalcy will reach in the state. So these are the things that the government is doing at this point in time, and that's what the different SOPs have been issued by the government. But the mission, begins again, like what they started in the state and what the center have announced. The Unlock 1 is going to start in the Maharashtra as well, but the date is deferred. It's from 3rd of June.
All right, Shishir, so the SOPs have been put forth by the state government. Very quickly, also get us an update on the COVID-19 cases in the state, because we know that Maharashtra is the epicenter of the pandemic here in the country. Let us know more details on the current update on the COVID-19 cases.
Currently, the numbers have touched nearly 67,000. Yesterday, nearly 2,400 numbers have been added here. And really, on every day, if you look at the average number in the Maharashtra, nearly 2,000 to 2,400 new cases have been found. And that's what, quite a worrisome factor for the state government. And that's the reason the state government time and again is saying that they're increasing the infrastructure in the state, be it hospitals also or field hospitals also, that they're focusing on. At the same time, they're increasing the testing also in different locations. And at this point in time, the main focus of the state government is to be containment zone here. So the maximum containment zones are actually found in Mumbai. And that's the reason in Mumbai, various steps have been taken. Apart from that, another municipal corporation, apart from Mumbai, the other cities in the Maharashtra, like Pune, Nasik, Aurangabad, and Nagpur, these are the areas that government is more focused are. And that's the reason even the field hospitals have been opened at these locations, so that maximum number can be, they'll get proper treatment in these hospitals here.
All right.
Yes, please.
All right, Shishir, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. From here, we'll go across to our correspondent Kamal Bora, who's joining us from Guwahati. Kamal, though the guidelines have been issued for Unlock 1 to be followed, but the onus lies on the state governments. You let us know the current updates because we tell our viewers that from today onwards, Unlock 1 will be implemented. Let us know the particular SOPs which have been put forth by the state government there in Assam.
Yes, Preeti, the SOP is already in place, which will be implemented from 8 June. Already, the state is ready to, open up various institutions to start the economic activities already. Shopping malls that to be open, other few business activities that to be open. Because of lockdown for a long, maybe last month, 2.5 months, and the state is ready to deal with the issues that may come up due to this unlock, because already cases are increasing in Assam rapidly because of improper pressure from outside, and in view of that, there is state government and just also because due to this unlock 1, the economic activities will be more. But this is going activity. Various economic activities are going on, but the will be much bigger when unlock will be starting. And in view of that, government is taking various precautionary measures also, and just to keeping in that mindset. So we have to maintain this distance, maintain this lockdown. We have to start the economic activity as well. So due to this, definitely government ready whatever have been sent by government. This is to be followed strictly. At the same time, they have to also maintain all the precautionary measures at the same time, since the cases are increasing, and we'll hope that everything will be smoother. And the state government has said that within in the next 10 to 15 days, it is to be more green, because the passengers will be coming, but the pace will be slow. It will already a huge number of persons have already entered Assam, and this number of people only are in the state, and that's why the 10 to 15 days the situation will be more challenging, but it will be under control. It is this confidence has been expressed by the state government, and they will be following each and every instruction sent by the government to put this unlock one in place.
All right, Kamal, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs from Guwahati. So those were our correspondents, both of them telling us about the SOPs which have been put forth by the respective states. As we tell you that Unlock 1 is to come into force from today onwards. We'll keep you updated. Let's get to more news. After the Indian Railways resumed passenger train services in the country in a phased manner from 12th of May 2020, the railways are now geared up to run another 200 special trains starting from today. 200 special passenger trains to run from today. No Tatkal, premium Tatkal booking permitted. Services in addition to Shramik special trains and 30 special AC trains. Now these trains are fully reserved trains having both AC and non-AC classes. General coaches have reserved seats for sitting accommodation. There will be no unreserved coach in the train. Now, according to the Railway Ministry, more than 1,45,000 passengers are expected to travel today. Around 26 lakh passengers have booked tickets for advanced reservation period, that is 1st till 30th of June. Passengers have to reach station 90 minutes in advance to facilitate thermal screening. All passengers have to be screened, only asymptomatic passengers to be allowed to board the train. Only passengers with confirmed RAC tickets allowed to enter the railway station and board the trains. All right, our correspondent Arun is joining us to get us more on that. Arun, we tell our viewers that 200 special trains will begin their services today, and we've given a broad outline of the SOPs which have been put forth by the railways for the passengers to follow. Get us more details and also let us know the current scenario of the air travel as well.
There are two aspects of this question. One is the rail travel and air travel. We know this fact that being the unlock 1.0 first day, so that means most of the things are opening up in our country. Talking about railways, first of all, yes, 200 trains will, the pair of 100, that means 200 trains will start now, and the reserve tickets will be sold to the passenger. And yes, of course, this marks the beginning of the movement of actually the train tickets whereby a booking can be made. This shows that we know this fact that railways are considered to be the lifeline of our economy, and railways plays an important role in transporting passengers from one place to another. So railways has earlier appealed to all the passengers and everybody that until and unless there is urgent need, don't travel. People who are above the age of 65 and children below the age of 10 should not travel until and unless it is very much necessary for you. Don't make movements when there is no need to travel. So that means all the passengers, if you look at the data and the statistics who are traveling as of now, are those passengers actually who were stranded for some reason. On the other side, the government is also running this the Shramik Express train. That means the Shramik, the migrant laborers, are still being transported from one place to another. Most of them are belonging to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So they are being transported via railways under the Shramik Express train, whereby the cost is being borne by the center and the states. So now the main focus will be on the day one, whereby actually the train begins, the passenger train services actually begins whereby 200 trains primarily start beginning. So on the other side, when we talk about the air travel, yes, there are two important again subset of the air travel. One is the Vande Bharat mission, and another is the domestic air travel. We know this fact that till the month of May, India has evacuated close to 50,000 Indians from abroad, and they have been brought back. So that's the good news. Now government is actually targeting in next 15 days, that means till 15th of June, what government is targeting is to evacuate 1 lakh passengers. So that means by 15th of June, we can expect that 1 lakh Indians will be back home. These also, these passengers also include the OCI card holders. If in case they want to travel back, they want to come back, they want to come to India, they can travel actually to India. So that's a good way. And similarly, parallelly, primarily, the government is also working on the Vande Bharat Phase 3 mission, whereby more countries will be open for evacuation process. We know this fact that government has given permission for flying of the chartered plane. That means any businessman or anybody who can afford chartered plane, who wants to come back to India, one who is stranded anywhere overseas, so they can come via chartered plane as well. Feeder flights have been started. That means any passenger or any Indian who are living in the tier 2 town, tier 1 town, whereby, till now the connectivity was between two big airports like Delhi, Muscat, Delhi,
Right.
Oman, only, Delhi, Abu Dhabi. But now the feeder flights are also being flown. So this means that more passengers can be evacuated. Private airline operator like Indigo is also being granted permission to fly. That means Indigo is now also working under the Vande Bharat mission. And yes, is flying in full swing, and we are expecting more and more passengers to fly the domestic services. But yes, one thing is for sure that under Unlock 1, we can soon expect the international travel as well, because as Civil Aviation Minister said that before August we are likely to fly at least on some
Yes.
the international pockets are concerned. So that also we can expect, but only after the month of June and before August. So that's very much likely going forward.
All right, Arun, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. And let's get to other news. Indian Navy ship INS Jalashwa will today sail from Colombo port in Sri Lanka, carrying around 700 Indian nationals back to Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu. Now, this will be the first part of the Operation Samudra Setu from Sri Lanka to repatriate Indian citizens under Vande Bharat mission. COVID-related social distancing norms have been catered on board, and evacuees would be provided basic amenities and medical facilities during the sea passage. Indian Navy has already repatriated 1,488 Indian nationals from Malé to Kochi during the previous phase of operations. INS Jalashwa is scheduled to bring back another 700 Indian nationals from Maldives, capital of Malé, on Friday, and preparations regarding it are also on. Up next on Weather News, according to the Met Department, monsoon can hit the country today, reaching Kerala. Now, along with this, there is also hope of getting rid of the scorching heat, and IMD department estimates that a period of rain may start in the country soon. During the next 24 hours, moderate to heavy showers are possible with Lakshadweep, Kerala, coastal Karnataka, south-central Maharashtra, parts of Vidarbha, and some heavy rains in West Assam. Apart from this, Maharashtra and Gujarat, which are worst hit by coronavirus, are likely to face cyclone Nisarg, which is building up in the Arabian Sea. And according to the IMD, storm may knock in these two states, and the moment the cyclone hits the ground, the wind speed will be 120 kilometers, which is likely to cause heavy damage. And now let's get you an update on the latest COVID-19 cases from across the country. And according to the Federal Health and Family Welfare Ministry, a total of 86,984 people have been cured. The recovery rate has reached 47.75%. The total number of affected persons has reached 1,82,143. 193 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide death toll to 5,164.
हम आज फिर ये युद्ध लड़ने आए हैं। हम आज फिर